let's get into conversations. And by the way, my name is Jude.
And now, hello Port Harcourt with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Now, our conversation started this morning is inside Rivers, and we're looking at drug abuse amongst teenagers here in the city of Port Harcourt. Now, let me start off by saying that there's not been a lot of detailed survey or research on this particular matter. However, there have been, in quotes, some studies in some areas, section areas in Nigeria. Anambra comes into mind, and Ibadan as well also comes to mind. Now, what we're going to do this morning is draw from those studies and make some interesting observations here in the city of Port Harcourt. Now, recently, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, in Rivers State has warned students against the use of illicit drugs. Now, the head of NDLEA Drug Command Reduction Unit in Rivers State, Patricia Uzoma, in the sensitization program last week at the community secondary school in Rumekini, not far from where we are right now, said that the command is worried about the high level of drug use among secondary school students. Secondary. My question is this. Whilst people may shout, oh, this society is bad, our children are not doing drugs, well, it's not the first time. When I was in secondary school, I also had friends who experimented with illegal or illicit substances. But what is more interesting in our day and time is that some of these substances are being pushed by you. Yes, you, the parent, you, the taxi driver, you, the uncle, you, the brother, you, the sister. You are likely a contributor to this very interesting problem. Once again, let me read the question. What ways are adults in Rivers State exposing teenagers to drug abuse? Now, let me quickly share with you this is from the African Health Sciences Journal. All right, so you can get online and get to research and get to verify what it is I am exactly saying. Now, after taking cross section of some of the drugs, some of the substances, right, that were abused in some secondary schools in some states in Nigeria, let me share with you what was found in Rivers State. Now, hard substances, opiates, and hallucinogenic drugs were not highly abused in Rivers State. No, they were not. But these are some of the substances that have been abused in Rivers State. Number one, cigarettes, nicotine. Cigarettes, nicotine, aka cigar. Alcoholic drinks, marijuana. So you see these I just mentioned: tobacco, nicotine, right? Marijuana, and alcohol. These three things are readily abused in some secondary schools in Rivers State, in Port Harcourt in particular. The question this morning is this: are you part of the problem? In what way do you think adults are exposing teenagers to drug abuse here in Rivers State? And I will share with you a story from someone who I asked this question late last night. My name is Jude. As always, do well, turn down the volume of your radio set. Refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. Didn't see it? Didn't hear it? Please do not make unsubstantiated claims, and do not make comments that will be seen as inciting.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
0817-923-0003. 0817-923-0007. Now, follow us on WhatsApp, all right? You can join the WhatsApp, add the WhatsApp number rather, and then you can regularly send us your comments on that particular platform. The number is 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. And then Facebook and Twitter at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. Facebook and Twitter at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. 90.3. Hello, Port Harcourt. Good morning to you, please.
Yeah, Mr. Zain. Good morning to you. The attitude that we should expose, make known these drugs to these kids or teenagers is a call for concern. We consume it in their presence. Sometimes we even send them on an errand to go buy it for us.
If I'm not mistaken, there have been adverts and PSAs to discourage people from sending minors to buy certain substances.
Yes, those adverts does not tell you we should send the younger ones. The advert may not explicitly say that, but if our conduct started exposing it to them, they will be tempted to test it. Most of us, when we are kids, we saw our fathers, our uncles smoking. We went to the back door. What did you do? We threw it papers. We light it up. Take it drag. That is it. When we take the alcohol in our presence, we saw it. We went behind. Sometimes we didn't even take the alcohol. It was even water. When we take it, water, we not because I started to take the air, we cry out.
That's how.
The moment we do these things in their presence, automatically we are encouraging them to do it. So for we to avoid our kids not to temper into such acts, we must be discreet in consuming these items. Zion
says you must be discreet in consumption of certain substances. Muriel is in Africa. Muriel, are you inadvertently exposing your children to substances?
Good morning.
Good morning, Muriel.
Thank you. You see, dude, we call to give our 2 cents on 1 or 2 issues for the sake of development in the country. Look, dude, I blame 2 persons. This is what we're talking now. Our children. Number 1, parents. Parents, I've seen parents send their children to go and buy cigarettes, buy drinks, especially this sachet one, this sachet, what they call it, bitter taste, bitter or gogoro in the morning. And these things, if these little children, they see the drink and they feel it's sweet, you're enjoying it. And what you're enjoying, they want to enjoy as well. And when parents finish, they throw the sachet away and they walk away. These children go back, they pick it up, and they suck the remaining content inside.
What?
Some of them is cigarettes. They gather these cigarettes and they try to smoke it themselves. These things have caused this. And number 2, teachers. You see, Jude, I love this service. But Jude, I have seen coppers go to the back of school buildings, the back of their school buildings, and students are seeing them smoking. And these students, they love these youth coppers so much. And I want to suggest, Jude, that youth coppers should be sent to the military. If there's a way it can be compulsory in military service, this can even improve our military system.
But this is a totally different conversation because
we have sent drug. I said it once, and I'm saying it again, that we have sent drug addicts and cultists to schools, primary schools and secondary schools, and these things have helped hide these issues we are talking about.
All right, Muriel, thank you very much. Jeremiah is in Odili, and we also have Clement on Stadium Road. Jeremiah, good morning to you, please.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning.
Well, this issue of illicit drugs in our schools first of all.
Secondary schools, in particular, secondary schools.
Yes, yes, yes. I myself, while I was in secondary school, I was exposed to illicit drugs,
By who?
but
Who exposed you?
by some of our, let's be precise, my mathematics teacher. This man, whenever he comes to school, he will just tell us, this is my period, settle down, I am coming. He will go to the back of our restroom, light is, let me not mention them, sip it, then after everything, he will, where is the film, and then come back to the class, and then you will see this man teach in a very unusual, as in, even if you are so dumb, and or even you are the dumbest in the class, this man will taught you mathematics and you will understand.
Interesting.
And then, I'm not the only one that taught him why he usually do it.
Yeah.
We are like 3 or 4 that are friends. And then I must be honest with you, at a point,
You started doing.
tried this thing. And so, in order for us to stop all this drug abuse, I think is it NDLA, or did they call them, the drug abuse agency? They should stop totally the importation. As in, any way that this drug gets to the country, they should stop it. And for me, I don't support the selling of alcohol. So maybe the government can make provision for people that are selling it so that they can stop. Because in as much these things are still in our society, there will be people that will abuse it.
Okay, that's Clement from Stadium Road. Well, it's interesting. We had an honest comment just now. He got exposed by an adult, a teacher, someone who ought to know better. Now, you can make, and every teacher, every adult has the right to do what they want to do, within the confines of, propriety. So maybe the teacher thought, he was doing the right thing by not allowing the children to see him. But they did see him. They did see him. Now, in 2018 and 2020, in quotes, substances that were being abused within the confines of River State started to change. I told you it was marijuana, nicotine in tobacco, that's cigarette, and then alcohol. But 2017, 2018, it now became alcohol, obviously, the same marijuana, right? Tobacco, yes. And caffeine. Painkillers. So, before you jump on the bandwagon and say, oh, the society is bad, I ask this question. In what way would you, yes, you the adult listening this morning, in what way are you expressing and exposing these substances to minors? My name is Jude. Hello, Posaka returns. is Jude Omamigbe. It's a good morning to you, and I'd like to welcome you to our program. If you're just joining in, let's start by giving you a quick recap. Now, over a week ago, last week, right before the weekend, we had some members, representatives of the NDLEA go to visit a school in Rumekini, and they were there to sensitize the young ones about the dangers of drug abuse. Now, when people hear drug abuse, a lot of people tend to immediately go to the opiates, to the hallucinogenic drugs, to the very strong and very often expensive, illicit substances. But there are some substances, right, that are readily available, all right, they are not, in quote, contraband, that could be abused. Now, within the Nigerian and then in particular within the Port Harcourt space, reports and studies have shown that alcohol, number one, is abused by children. Number one, secondary school here in River State. Then number two, you had marijuana and tobacco. Now, in the later part of 2019 to 2020 and 2021, painkillers as well as, in quotes, codeine substances were also regularly abused. This time around, not just by those who are in higher institutions, the adults now, but by children. My question this morning is this: how are you? Yes, we need to look at you in the face. How are you inadvertently exposing the teens, exposing the young ones to substance abuse?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Oh, that was Nathaniel from Rumekini. Apologies to you, Nathaniel. We would like to get to hear from you going forward. 08179230002, 08179230003. At Nigeria Info PH on Facebook and on Twitter. At Nigeria Info PH on Facebook and on Twitter is where you find us. Match number 3, good morning. Hello, Port Harcourt. Good morning.
Mr. Dean, how are you today?
Very well, thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm fine too.
Good.
My name is Mr. Christian.
Go on, Christian.
Mr. Dean, according to your topic this morning, my father used to tell me one word, that when the female goat is eating grass in the bush and eating cassava, people's cassava, the little one will be watching their mother's mouth. Now, some of the parents, they expose their children to those illicit drugs, drinks, and narcotic medicine. Now, secondly, the advantage of that in getting to the secondary school is, did you understand that the cultism now is in secondary school because of they take illicit drugs and all those hard drugs, and they can lure them to cultism. So the NDLEA, for my one is the NDLEA should go to the other secondary school and sanitize them. If not, when they get to university, they will see the recruit some other ones from the secondary school before.
Oh, well, that's what they've just done. They've gone to secondary schools. That was Barry in Ajib Estate. They've gone to secondary schools to sensitize, to let the children know that there are dangers. There are dangers. Now, one of the most grueling and maybe most difficult things I've had to watch in my entire life on television was a documentary of a prostitute in the US, right, who was also a drug addict. Eventually she died. But the transformation from high school sweetheart, the person whom everybody wanted to be, when you're in secondary school, that's high school, you're about to fill we used to call it your, what's that book called? Your slum book, right? You're filling your slum book and like, oh, what do you want to be in the next 10 years? Where do you see yourself in 15 years, 20 years? And, and everybody will put, okay, most likely to succeed, most likely to have children early. Her name regularly came up. Regularly. Until she met somebody who introduced her to illicit substances. As a teenager, just about to graduate, she started taking. Before long, she was on the streets. In fact, remember there was a lady, there was a young girl. It was like 2020 that caught the attention of Nigeria when a pastor went to get her off the streets. Remember that? How do you think it started? Barry is in Nigeria State. Barry, are you exposing the young ones around you to illicit drugs?
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning to you, Barry. We have Ikechi on the line, please. So let's hear you.
Let me just let you know one thing. You see, sometimes when we keep blaming parents on everything, I don't think parents is to be blamed on this particular subject as a duty. The reason is this: the parent does not go to school with the child.
True.
To the school the children that is going to secondary school. I don't think that the parent goes to the school. I rather blame the environment in particular child or student find you yourself.
That's wait, but that's Barry. But that's exactly what I'm asking. The adults. I didn't mention parents. And you are an adult. If it's a child, that's what I'm asking you. Do you smoke in front of children? Do you drink? Are you sure you're not helping them to want to try it out?
No. You don't smoke the brain of their children. It's wrong. Because if you smoke or it sends, you are telling him or her to do it tomorrow. It's wrong. But the area I'm coming from is this: the parents do not go to the school with the children.
Fair enough.
I rather blame the environment that particular child
is exposed to. Okay, Ikechi, do you believe that it's the environment the child is in that is more responsible than the input of the parents, according to Barry, the last caller? Hello, Ikechi? Hello, Ikechi, good morning. Oh dear. Hello, Ikechi, can you hear us? Good morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes. About this thing is just that there are several factors that are involved. There is a chemical in the human body called dopamine. That chemical is like a feel-good chemical that makes you feel nice when you've achieved something or done something. But it has also gotten from four things: alcoholism, drug abuse, gambling, and our phones. This chemical is the secret that makes drug addicts remain addicted to drugs. Most of the people encouraging these children to be taking drugs are even the adults. I remember a friend of mine went back in school. I think I was in grade 4 then. That friend of mine said that his dad, had finished entertaining some friends, and they had a nice drink of bullet. I'm sorry if I, mention the brand.
Very quickly, go very quickly, please.
So, they drank and left a remainder in the container. The young boy went and drank it.
Oh dear.
And the boy said his brain burned. He couldn't see things well. The next thing he took his fist and punched the wall. He created an imprint of his fist on the wall.
Wow.
That is to tell you the level this thing has gone. And some people who are adults who even carry these drugs and give it to our secondary school students are even proud of it.
Proud?
There was a guy who was telling me one time that the guy, he carried it in his vehicle. And the guy was giving, small nylon to these our young government secondary school students.
To do what? To sell?
To sell now.
Okay, Ikechi, I'm going to ask you to hold on and call back because Paul, oh dear. I don't want to believe I just heard that. That children in secondary school are now being recruited to distribute illegal substances. Children, and an adult feels comfortable giving a child to go and sell in Port Harcourt. Good morning, Jude. I think parents, this is on WhatsApp, by the way, 0809-030-6416. I think parents should properly educate their children on drug abuse and its effects, because the children will go outside to learn the vices from their peers. That's from David George, all right, in Port Harcourt. Good morning, Jude. I grew up eating what I found on my plate, wearing what my parents could afford. That's how I learned to be grateful and appreciative. We should not let our children determine what to eat or wear. Allowing our children to do what they like is the beginning of destroying them. Parents should be aware of their children, what they do, the friends that they keep. Hector is in Ogbogoro. Hector, good morning to you. Welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
Good morning, Nigerians.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, please.
When I was very little, they used to send me to buy alcohol. I grew up in the water side, and where I come from, we call it Kai Kai, Akamiri. Now, I didn't drink. Till now, I hate that alcoholic.
So why? How come you didn't drink?
Kai Kai.
Why?
I don't know. I just hate it. I just don't like it. Cigarette or cigar, what is it called? Whatever. I hate it naturally. I don't smoke. I've never tasted. I don't even know how it tastes, but I know how it smells because people around me do smoke. Now, in my environment where I live, I've seen secondary school children, as in girls smoke in their hands. Small girls, they smoke, and you can't even talk to them because if you try it, their boyfriends will come for you. They are even in court. It's just unfortunate. The other day I was just walking by, and my neighbor, our son was reporting to her how he tried to fight his master in school, his teacher, because his teacher was trying to flog him. And he stopped his teacher, he owed the king, and was struggling to fight his teacher. And do you know what this woman said to her son? Yes, that is my son. The man will know that you are a boy. It's just imagine. So I got to discover that a lot of these children got spoiled at home, and they now send them to school and expect the school to correct them, which is not almost impossible. Parents, especially mothers, I think we are not trying. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Hector. That's a very interesting story there. Hector exposed but did not consume, doesn't like it. Interesting. Now, I don't think there are any absolutes in this conversation, because in Hector's case, he was exposed by his parents, by the adults around him, but he doesn't consume. I'll use myself as an example. I never saw my dad with a stick of cigarette or drinking in my house. We did have alcoholic beverages, right? But they were never opened except they were visitors, and we were never meant to go bring that. You know, when you have guests and they say, mommy say, go and bring a drink for uncle, right? If my mom was going to present alcohol to an adult, she'd go get it herself. And interestingly, alcoholic beverages were never in our fridge. I cannot remember that. Never in my fridge. The alcoholic spirits, the spirits basically, were in my parents' bedroom. So I don't know. I'm not big on alcohol today. I have never smoked. Paul is in Uniport, and we have Richard in D-Line. Paul, good morning to you, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, my little story I want to say concerning this drug abuse and from my own view. When I was in primary school, I can remember my cousin then, who was as innocent as ever. But he ended up started drinking and smoking because when he was little, his parents do leave the shop for him to kind of take care of the shop, and the parents, in quotes, are people who sell these illicit drugs and cigarettes and all those kind of things. But today, he was like, he told me one certain time that when he was little, his parents left the shop for him. It was like he saw these people come to buy all this, and he felt like trying to see how it is.
Yeah.
And today, I know the kind of person he is now. He's somebody that cannot see without even taking ordinary cigarettes. Now, from an innocent boy to an illicit drug
user.
So that's the kind of things parents also bring to the table.
Richard is in D-line. Good luck is in Rumo Kalakbo. Richard, good morning to you, please. Welcome.
Hello, Jude.
Good morning, Richard.
Yeah, good morning. Sorry, I didn't miss Mr.
Go on, please.
Okay. You're talking about drug abuse.
Amongst teenagers. Amongst teenagers.
The people, the major people that are influencing children, talking about students. I think people living in shelter areas, because trend is over there you are seeing people selling drinks, sachets and smoking and the rest of it, and these children are learning, and after that they are going to school. You know, when they are coming to school, at school there you meet so many different people. People from other places and people from, and there they feel like they have they have freedom. They speak what they are learned from the people back home. So to me, if government can do something about this, maybe to stop it entirely, it would be nice, because it's not encouraging. And secondly, now the river state, and you are just come outside the street and still working, going to school by 11, they are still working on the street. At least government needs to do something about it, because this is getting out of hand.
Well, it is getting out of hand. It is worrying, to say the least. Good morning, Jude. I agree that most children crave these things because they see people do it before them. My father, as a marine captain, usually cools off with a certain brand. Now, out of my curiosity to know whether it was a taste of novelty, I became a smoker. But I still remember he said, if you say you no longer smoke, but whenever you perceive the smell and you say the smell worries you, you haven't really made up your mind. Most people became insane and turned addicts because they smoked what their frenemies wrapped for them, mixed with something intended to make them go gaga. Time not pray with that comment. Influence, I guess. No human is born a criminal, but the environment changes them. Jude, I disagree with people that say it's the parents that expose these children to drugs. Principals of schools should know the teachers that they have. You had a former caller, remember how it was the math teacher that exposed him. However, drug abuse should be added into our curriculum. Gerald from Umebule. All right, thank you very much. Jude, as far back as 2006, I foresaw this thing would become the epidemic that it is now, because I started to see disturbing things in Abuja. We reached out to schools, but most of them said our children are Jesus children from responsible homes. They don't do such. There was just one school in Rivers State that took advantage of the offer, and there I was shocked because the head of the pastoral care said you have to talk to the whole school. I assumed it would be from SS1 upwards, but he said JSS1 should be included. I remember telling him, but when I was in JSS1, I was 10 years old. He said, yes, they are catching them younger. This generation is looking for excitement. They are looking for ways to numb the pain and belong. Braid is speaking to us from Burukiri. Braid, good morning to you, please.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning. Welcome, please.
Yes, Jude, I think it will be necessary our nursery, primary, and secondary school begin to teach our children the negative aspects of alcoholic drink and also smoking. Now, Jude, sometimes I feel that it's not from the parents. Sometimes it's the mindset. Jude, I drink alcoholic at the age of 9.
9?
Yes. And after that day, my daddy dealt with me. My father did, but he has never been drunk. A tenant, one of our neighbors, got promotion and he bought a lot of drink. People were just going there, taking drink, drinking. So I also go in there, take gold as a then, and take it. The moment I take it, I was taken. And I talked to my dad. My dad went to work, and when he comes, I talked to him in there. My dad looked at me, smiled my mouth, and he sees that it's alcohol. You know what he did to me? He did not flog me. He gave me, he allowed me to sip Gary. After, when I was doing it, I slept. Till late in the night, when I woke up, my father dealt with me. Since after that day, till today, I have not taken alcohol. I don't smoke. So sometimes I feel that it's not from parents. I have mixed up with both the bad, the ugly, while in the school, even in my business. But today, nothing can force me to smoke. Nothing can force me to take alcoholic drink. It's because I have told myself that I'm not going to do it again. That day I promised my father that I will never do it. My father has died for how many decades, but I've never tried it. I'm not a man of my own. I have every freedom to take alcohol or to smoke the way I want, but I don't try it. So I believe that any child that wants to be good will be good. Any child that wants to spoil, if you like, put him on top of a skyscraper, let him not come down. The least chance he sees, he will use it. So for me, my take is that parents should always guide their children. Even in the school, the teachers should be able to also guide them. And we should pray for our children. That's my take. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. That was Braid from Burukuri. All right, let's move on. Now, this generation is looking for excitement. They are looking for ways to numb pain and belong. That's why things like having multiple sexual partners at a young age amongst themselves and even filming it to upload online with their own hands means nothing to them. I do not drink. I don't like the taste of alcohol. I did drink when I was in uni, but it wasn't my thing. Thank you very much. That's from an anonymous messenger. Good morning, Jude. I think one of the best ways to help curb this substance abuse is for everyone to try and be our brother's keeper. I believe we need to get rid of that "no be my concern" mentality and try to help these children if we notice something instead of leaving the job only for the parents. I remember when I was younger, I grew up around white people, and I can tell you they love smoking. I picked up a leftover cigarette from the ground one day and tried it. It wasn't pleasant at all. Someone saw me and reported me, and I was taught a lesson that day on the dangers of smoking. Lugard is speaking to us from Eche. Lugard, good morning to you, please. Welcome.
I greet you especially Lugaman from Eche.
Go on, please.
Yes. Based on what we are saying, see, I have listened to several callers. All of them have said their opinion. All I want to say is that anybody that wants to spoil will spoil. I use my own very self as an example. During my days in secondary school, my brother, most of my classmates are all involved in smoking hard drugs like Igbo. Even in my presence, I was with them all the time, but I've never wanted it. I stay with them, even inside bush will be there and they will be liking it. I was just watching at them. Even as I'm talking to you now, I've not tested it. I decided not to do so. Not that maybe if I want to do it, I will not do it. But my spirit did not take it. So for me, I believe that whosoever that wants to spoil, you see, all this one they say that friends influence, this, that. My brother, it is what you decide to do, that is what you will do. And for me, I want to use medium to advise parents and my fellow youths and the teachers too. Because most of the teachers are involved in all these hard drugs. They send students to go and buy it for them. And you see them taking it with the students. That's what
on your talk station. The conversation never ends.
Let the person walk, we vote him. You see, it doesn't have to tell us to wait for the godfather to take it.
Read that one. Good morning, Jude. When I was a child, my grandmother used to deal on kai wholesale level. We had to help her in selling to the retailers so we could drink at will. One day I came home to find my cousin lying naked in a pool of water. He had drunk himself almost to death. That was how I stopped taking alcohol till today. I used to buy cigarettes for my father, but none of us living smokes. This addiction comes in through personal perception, parental and peer pressure. That's BAB. That's a very real scenario. Like I said, some people get exposed, but they don't pick up the habit. Others don't get exposed, and some pick the habit. However, there is enough proof that those who get exposed are more likely to pick up the habit than the other. Good morning. I wish the government would have a strong legislation against producers and distributors of alcoholic beverages and other substances. That's John. Well, conversations are still ongoing as regarding restriction. Once again, get onto Facebook and Twitter at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. If you are an adult, meaning particularly above 21 in this particular conversation, you have a responsibility, not just to yourself. You have your wants, your pleasures, but don't expose a child who might not know better to those pleasures.